I have been filming for 9 minutes and have said absolutely nothing. So that's a great start for me. Harry, please, please stop biting me. I'm not a toy. I'm not a toy. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Look at me longingly. I know, I'm not gonna pick you up. I know. Ow, I know, stop. Stop. Hey everyone, hi. Welcome back to my channel. I really need to just get on the go. Like, I need to get this video going because I have a time limit. I'm going to my son's preschool end of the year party, like his end of the year preschool party, where I think something's gonna happen that's gonna be really cute and everything. And so I have that thing, I have that going on today. And so I only have a limited amount of time to film this video. And I have been filming for 10 minutes and nothing has happened. I've had a couple of distractions. I've distracted myself. So this is me getting focused. And I'm gonna talk you through all of the plans and all of my thoughts about what I want to read and what I plan to read in June. That sentence was quite roundabout and I hope it made sense. So let's get on to the video. Okay, so the first book that I'm going to be talking about. Oh, I found out, I think I am getting better at YouTube, y'all. Like, I think I'm getting better. I'm not just like, here's the book and this is what I'm going to read. I like actually build a little suspense along the way. What? Yeah, anyways, okay, Harry, please. This is not the Harry show. Or is it? Okay, all right, so here's what happened. I do regular buddy reads with certain people. I buddy read with certain people on the regular, and I went to one of my regular buddy readers named Sonja. She's a subscriber here on the channel. We've read a ton of books together, and I did the thing where I was like, Sonja, I want to read something fun. I don't want no more mammoths. We read War and Peace earlier. No hard, difficult tasks. I just want something fun. And she had a suggestion that we talked about earlier a few weeks ago, and it was presented as an option. I was like, yes, I wanted that. That seems fun and fast-paced and thrilling, and it seems like exactly what I need at this moment. And the book that we've decided to read for June is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which I already talked about in my haul, which went up a couple of days ago, so you all probably already know this. But if you didn't catch the haul, I will leave a link down below in case you want to see what I bought recently. This was one of the books that I bought recently, and I'm going to read it in June. I have not watched any Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movies in any kind of form. I've never read the book. I really don't know what it's about. And I found out recently that it is Stieg Larsson. In my haul video, I didn't know how to say his name, and I was like, Steg? Which was like the same pronunciation, just said more hesitantly, but I found out it's Stieg Larsson. Okay, Harry, okay. Being strong, y'all. I'm not picking Harry up. Okay, the next book I'm going to read, the book is part of a read-along on AJ Dunn's channel. AJ Dunn of AJ Dunn Reads and Writes. They are hosting a Diary of Anne Frank read-along in June because Anne Frank's diary does start in June when she's gifted it in June and she starts writing in it in June. Yes, I was right. She starts writing in it in June. I've never read this, and I've always wanted to. And so as I saw AJ was going to do the read-along, I was like, yes, that fits perfectly with my plans. So if you all are interested in reading the Diary of Anne Frank next month, I would really highly encourage you to check out AJ's channel and join the read-along. I will leave a link to their channel down below and the information about the announcement to the read-along. There's absolutely so much going on Booktube this month, and the next book has to do with like another Booktube event from two channels that are just absolutely wonderful. So the Naturalist Book Club, is ran by Heidi at My Reading Life and Doris at All D Books instead of All the Books. The word "the" is changed into the letter D. It's very cute. I really like it. Anyways, these two women run the Naturalist Book Club, and this month, I knew at the very beginning, they were so great. They announced all the books they're going to be reading this year, and one book sat on my shelf, and so I kind of bookmarked it to read in June because I wanted to read it with the Naturalist Book Club. Anyways, the book is Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. I have owned this for a little while. I've heard amazing things about it. I don't want to like synopsize the book because I think I have a hunch that a friend of mine who's slightly averse to nonfiction is going to watch this, and I really don't want to synopsize the plot or what I think the plot might be in this book, or the premise even, because I want that person to be able to go in blind. But if you do want to know about the premise, I will leave a link down below to the Goodreads for this book, so you can go and read the premise of this book. But anyways, it is part of the Naturalist Book Club. It's supposed to be wonderful. It's supposed to be beautiful, and I just cannot wait to get to it. I don't think I've ever heard, well, I have heard a poor review on it, a single poor review, but for the most part, I've heard almost all good reviews about Pilgrim at Tinker Creek, and this is my first Annie Dillard book, so I'm really excited to meet this author on the page finally. We are now traveling back in time. As far as my reading goes, we're going to travel back in time to the Victorian era, and I'm going to be reading a Victorian author that I have yet to read, which is like mind-blowing because she's the thing, you know? She's the thing on Booktube. Okay, anyways, I'm going to be reading Elizabeth Gaskell for the first time, and I'm going to be reading North and South, and I'm going to be reading it with, actually, I feel like this could have been truncated a little bit. I'm going to be reading this with Jack at Spread Book Joy. I'm excited. We've had this planned for a little while, and I'm just excited to dig into Gaskell's work and to see how it compares to other Victorian writers that I have read. So yeah, I'm just, I'm just excited about this on many different levels. Partly because of Jack, partly because it's a Victorian writer, partly because it's Gaskell, and I'm just excited about this read all around. So yeah, here we go. The next book I have set up to read, I actually have to get in touch with my buddy reader about it, but we did make this plan, and so I'm sure it will happen, and if not, it's not a big deal, but it is on the docket for June as of this moment, and I'm excited because yet again, it's another book that barely ever, I don't think has ever had a poor review to its name, and I hope you all don't like flood my comments saying like, that was the worst book ever. I don't think it is though. It's supposed to be really, really good, okay? So it is This Tender Land by William Kent Kruger. I'm excited because AJ of AJ Down Reads and Writes and Jolene at Bookworm Adventure Girl, they both read this and really loved it and said it was just beautiful and moving and gorgeous. And I was like, yes, I want a beautiful and moving, gorgeous book. And I think that This Tender Land will give it to me. So excited about this one, and must contact buddy reader about this, okay? Okay, two more books that are like fairly for sure. The first one I'm going to be reading with the Up to No Good Book Club, which is a self-formed book club here on not my channel. It's a self-formed book club off of Booktube, even though many of us have channels. And it is in it. Gosh, words today are hard. So in the Up to No Good Book Club is Jolene from Bookworm Adventure Girl, Sandy at Miss Reads a Lot, AJ of AJ Done Reads and Writes, Fraser Simon at Springboard Thought, and then we have a handful of subscribers and friends that don't have channels, which is wonderful. You do you, y'all, even though I wish everybody had a channel. And that would be Deb, Sonja, and Angela. And we've all decided that most of us are going to read Young Mungo by Douglas Stewart. I have not read Douglas Stewart's first book that really made a splash, Shuggy Bane, but even though I haven't read it, I still feel very open to reading all of Douglas Stewart's book, which is like all two. And I'm going to start with Young Mungo. I have it, the book club is going to read it, and I'm excited. I don't know much about it. I just know it's supposed to be good. Do you see a theme with my reading? It's like, I don't know anything about this book, but I've heard it's good. That's how I approach most of my books, okay? And then my final book, it is good, according to most, if not all people. And I'm actually kind of shocked I haven't read it. And I set up a buddy read with Fraser Simon at Springboard Thought. And we're going to be reading Frankenstein. This Frankenstein, the one I almost dropped. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. It's on my list of 22 classics I want to read in 2022. It has been on my TBR before, and yet I seem to sort of snub it. I don't know why. I don't know why. Me and Mary Shelley just haven't quite made the time to meet on the page. And I know it's me and it's not you. I'm so sorry, Mary Shelley. I really do want to meet you, but I'm just, you know, sometimes it just takes me a while, okay? Patience is a virtue, especially for dead authors. Okay, so there is one event that I want to highlight that I am thinking about, though I'm not sure I'm going to participate in, but I love readathons, y'all. I love them so much because it gives me a lens in which to look at my shelves and gives me a new way of seeing my books, especially if it's a lens or a concept that I hadn't thought about or applied to my bookshelves as of yet. And so the readathon that I want to highlight is the Ancientsathon. Ancientsathon is ran by Jennifer at Jennifer Brooks, David Wiley with his channel name David Wiley, and then Tori at Hufflepuff Discovery. These three hosts are putting on Ancientsathon, and there are a bunch of really incredible prompts, but I'm mostly thinking about the structure, the parameters. And so Ancientsathon, the whole thing is that one reads literature from before 1700. And so I was like, okay, what do I have on my shelf that is written before 1700? Not very much, y'all. Not very much, okay? I feel kind of embarrassed that my collection of books is so contemporary, and I have not dabbled a lot in the ancients, outside of, like, in my own personal reading. In school I read a lot of ancients, but you know, my personal reading, I haven't, you know, developed a good ancients muscle. So anyways, I was looking at my shelves and I pulled down what I had and here's what I came up with, at least the books that got me excited about Ancientsathon that I might pick up. So here's the first one. I have Machiavelli's The Prince. This was written in the 1400s, or it's about somebody who lived in the 1400s. Okay, give me a moment. I should have trusted my gut, y'all. I should have trusted myself. I was right. So this was written in the 16th century, so definitely fits with Ancientsathon, and it is, I believe, a nonfiction work about the life of the prince, which is Niccolo Machiavelli. And I don't know much about it. I just know that it fit with Ancientsathon, and it was on my shelf, and it was slim because y'all know, if you don't know, you will find out that I am trying to avoid mammoths, okay? I'm trying to avoid big books. So I saw this, it was slim, it fit to the time period, and I was like, yes, I might read you. The next book definitely fits with Ancientsathon, and I might actually read it because it's on my list of 22 classics to read in 2022, and that is The Four Plays of Aristophanes. Last year I read Lysistrata and thought it was absolutely hilarious. I mean, that book, I think about it now, and like the scenes that I conjured up in my imagination through Aristophanes' writing are just so vivid. I mean, they're just, okay, if you know, you know, okay? The book is hilarious, or the play rather. So anyways, after I had read Lysistrata, I bought more plays by Aristophanes, and I'm excited. I'm excited because I feel like the humor is some, you know, I don't seek out humorous books very often, and occasionally when I do, I never regret it, you know, and so I'm glad to kind of incorporate more humor in my life. I actually don't know if any of Aristophanes' other plays are humorous, so I might not actually be getting any humor out of this. But the hope was that everything would be funny and that I would really enjoy it. I'm feeling like I didn't really think through my plans this month. That's okay. It's okay. We're just going with it. This is just me telling you. I'm just sharing with you some of the books that are on my mind right now, okay? So the last book, it's also on my, and this is written in something BC. Yes, I was right. It was written in 445 to, oh no. It was said that Aristophanes lived in 445 to 375 BC. So yeah, so we're just gonna say this was written in something BC, and I hope to get along with it. The last book I have picked for Ancientsathon is also part of my 22 books for 2022 project. So I actually might for sure get to this. And it is Oedipus the King by Socrates. I always have a moment that I'm going to say it wrong. And I don't know, I feel like the idea that I have for this book in my mind is not actually what this book is. And so I have a feeling that this book is going to kind of shift the way that I think of, especially like the Oedipus syndrome. And y'all, I just read a book about Eddie Gain, the serial killer, and there was some Oedipus discussion in that, and it was a little much for my poor little heart, but I took it. And you know, I also thought, well, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for me to read Oedipus the King, so I finally know what was that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm talking about serial killers. I'm talking about the Oedipus syndrome. Look, y'all, I'm fine. Okay, so I'm going to read Oedipus the King, I think. And yeah, I'm excited. This will be fun. So last year in June, I started my channel in June, and I noticed there was a trend, but I don't know if I am just blind to Booktube right now or I haven't seen an announcement. But last year in June, a lot of Booktubers read something for Pride Month, and it was wonderful. It was really cool to see everyone kind of come together and pull the books off their shelves that they felt celebrated Pride Month. And I haven't seen, I don't know if I've been blind to Booktube or if I'm just not paying attention to what's going on, but I haven't seen any type of Pride Month announcement video. So I don't know if people are going to be celebrating Pride Month, but this is something that I remembered from last year, and I was kind of like, oh, I would have loved to apply that lens, like that concept, to my shelves. So I just did it myself. I just was like, what kind of Pride books would I want to read this next month if I had the opportunity? And really 2 books came to mind. The first one is Sarah Waters' The Paying Guest. Is that right? The Paying Guests. So many guests are paying. Sarah Waters is a, we had a little bit of an interruption here. It was fine. Okay, so Sarah Waters, The Paying Guests. She is a lesbian author, Sarah Waters is, and she often features lesbian characters in her books. So I don't know if this book in particular features any lesbian characters, but I know that she definitely fits the bill for Pride Month, and I was like, oh, that's wonderful. Now, I don't know if I'll actually pick this up. A lot of it has to do with the size of this lovely book. I'm just like, I'm really put off to chunksters right now, and I need a little break. I just need a little space from the chunksters, so I don't think I'll be picking this book up, but I did want to highlight Sarah Waters as an author that one could read for Pride Month if you were so interested, and I'm excited to get to her. It has nothing to do, Sarah Waters, this has nothing to do with you, it's all me, I promise, and I will I will work on myself a little bit, and we'll get back together, and I'm sure we'll have a long and healthy relationship. So yeah. And then the last book I've actually read the beginning of, and I loved it, and I don't remember why I didn't continue. And then I saw the book well, I read it on my Kindle, and I loved the sample, and then I didn't continue with it. I don't know why. I just don't know why. I remember, I still think about the opening that I read from this book and the way that my heart felt. And for whatever reason, I just didn't continue. I don't know what happened. Past Shelly, where was your mind at? So the book that I am talking about is Andre Aciman's Call Me By Your Name. And it is a gay love story, to my knowledge, which would also fit with Pride Month. And it's one that I've wanted to read and that I've been thinking about, and it's short, so it has more of a likelihood for me to read it. But yet another author that I've been highly encouraged to read because I've heard his work is gorgeous, but I just haven't read yet. So perhaps I'll read Call Me By, is that right? Call Me By Your Name. Yeah, because I already started it and it was gorgeous, and I didn't finish it, and I don't know why. But anyhow, okay, so that is it for me. What are you all reading in May? What are y'all reading in June? I would love to know. Thank you for being here. Thank you for you know, watching this chaotic energy that I have sometimes. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and are you participating in any readathons? What's going on with your reading life in June? I must know. I want to know. Yeah. Oh, and there's June on the Range. I'm like throwing some things in at the very last second. There's June on the Range. That's hosted. Well, I heard about it from Michael K. Vaughan because Michael K. Vaughan is amazing. But I don't have any Westerns at all. Like, this house is scrubbed of anything Western, to my knowledge. So yeah. So, but if cowboy range type thing is your thing, then I would highly encourage you to check June on the Range out. But yeah, I think that's it. That's it for me. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys. Oh, am I going? Oh gosh. Okay. Hi. What am I doing? What am I doing right now? I'm moving my lights around, y'all. Oh, the start of another video. Ah! Made for June. Oh gosh, I need to sneeze. End of the year preschool party. Ow! All right, so hi everybody. Hi. Oh, okay. This is bad already, y'all. This is bad already. I feel like this.